Welcome back to a fresh edition of Weather for Weather Geeks, everyone's Thursday evening, and hopefully that sunshine today put a little pep in your step. It sure looked nice and felt nice, and I wanted to start out this evening with our time-lapse looking east along 224 in Boardman. Very busy as we get into December and the prime holiday shopping season, of course. Lots and lots of sunshine out there this afternoon. Looked great, and it was a great sunset this evening. The stretch of earliest sunsets ends today. Our sunsets start getting later tomorrow. So we've been at 4:53 for the last 6 evenings, but starting tomorrow, ever so slowly, we start gaining some daylight at the end of the day. Of course, sunrises continue to get later, and they'll continue to do so into early January. But sunsets will be back at 5 p.m. the day after Christmas, and then with the return of daylight saving time in March, our sunsets will be at around 7:30, something to look forward to in a few months. But in the meantime, we can look forward to a slightly later sunset coming up on Friday. All right, we had some sunshine today, a mostly clear sky still overhead this evening with some high clouds scooting by to the north. With the mostly clear skies, it's too bad that the aurora or the northern lights really isn't going to pan out. You know, predicting solar weather, if you will, is even more challenging, way more challenging, in fact, than predicting weather here on Earth. These things are fickle, and we told you to kind of stay tuned because things can change. And today it was determined that the solar storm was not nearly as strong as it looked like it would be. And so the interaction with the magnetosphere and the atmosphere just will not be anything to write home about. Might see some of the northern lights in more of the typical locations near the U.S.-Canadian border and heading up into central Canada. But this part of the south, this is a big nothing burger. What is not a nothing burger, though? The great conjunction of our two largest planets in the solar system, Jupiter and Saturn. This is getting set to occur in about 10 days, but these two planets are getting closer and closer together in the sky. This is something that occurs every 20 years, these two planets kind of joining up. Of course, the speed in which the planets rotate around the sun is quite different, but every 20 years, these things kind of sync up, Jupiter and Saturn, from our vantage point here on Earth. And so you may have noticed these two very bright objects pretty close together in recent weeks, but they're getting closer and closer, and over the next 10 days they'll get so close, in fact, that by around the winter solstice, this will almost look like just a single point of light in the sky. A very bright star, if you will, is what it'll look like, but it'll actually be two planets. And you know, some people are kind of referring to this as the Christmas star because it'll look like a star, it's really bright, and of course it's almost Christmas time. But you can tell people who maybe aren't so scientifically inclined that, hey, it's not a star, it's two planets. It's a great thing to break out at your Christmas gatherings this year, a little scientific knowledge. All right, back here on Earth, things are pretty quiet across the nation once again this evening, although our weekend weather maker is starting to take shape across the Four Corners region. This will push north and east and will bring a variety of impacts to parts of the Midwest and the eastern U.S. over the next few days. In fact, we already have some winter weather advisories out for the Plain States, parts of the Corn Belt. I'm expecting more winter weather advisories and winter storm watches to be issued over the next 24 hours or so for parts of the upper Midwest. Actually, pretty nice day coming up tomorrow. I think clouds are going to try to thicken up some in the afternoon, but it'll be clouds of the high variety, just making for kind of a milky sky. And while we made it to the upper 40s today, we've got mid-50s on the menu for tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a pretty nice end of the week. Not so nice, though, over the weekend. Dry to start on Saturday, but showers push in the afternoon. Showers will come and go right through the evening into the overnight. Secondary cold front then on Sunday will send temperatures kind of in the wrong direction Sunday. Warmest part of the day will be in the morning. The afternoon will feature temperatures back in the 30s, about 20 degrees cooler than tomorrow. Nothing more really than a sprinkle or two in the forecast for Sunday. This will be enough to shovel and plow and cause a few disruptions, though, across central Iowa, heading over towards Des Moines and Davenport and over towards Milwaukee, up into the northern part of the lower peninsula of Michigan. Around here, no accumulating snow, but our model consensus here is just that. It's a pretty good consensus. About a quarter of an inch worth of rain seems to be in the offing for Saturday afternoon and into Saturday night. All right, busy upper level flow over the next couple of weeks. Lots of fast-moving disturbances across the U.S., meaning a pretty active period lies ahead, I think, over the next couple weeks. Frequent bouts of precipitation. Some of it may be in the frozen variety. Some of it will be liquid. We're going to keep an eye on the East Coast next week. Things may sync up just right for a pretty sizable snow event somewhere along the eastern seaboard. Odds do not favor it being a big ticket event back this far to the west at this early stage of the game. And as we go through the next couple of weeks, I'm not going to put a lot of stock in a lot of details in the longer range because in this kind of a pattern, the models are going to struggle a little bit kind of latching on to ideas. But some of the modeling is starting to show a little more high latitude blocking up towards Greenland as we head into the second half of December. When you get blocking in the northern Atlantic and up towards Greenland, you can force colder air to get shoved to the south. And so that's going to remain on the table, the possibility of some decent cold outbreaks over the next couple of weeks. And I mean modest. I'm not expecting the mother load of cold to come south. And a lot of these cold shots may be kind of transient. It'll get pretty cold for a couple days and then moderate. I still think that December will probably come out in the wash as warmer than average, but maybe not by a big margin. And our overall winter forecast idea that December would be the winter month closest to average temperature-wise still looks pretty good. We see nothing to deter us from the idea that January and February will be pretty balmy compared to the average for those two cold winter months. That's it for me tonight. Once again, I'm off tomorrow, so I'll have a fresh edition of Weather for Weather Geeks coming back your way on Monday. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Thursday night, enjoy your Friday and your weekend.